Support for this podcast comes from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative, connecting communities with the resources, infrastructure, and networks to ensure a vibrant local free press.
From KVPR in Fresno, this is Central Valley Daily. It's Wednesday, April 1st. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. Earlier this year, California launched a program that provides free education at all public schools for 4-year-olds.
We have spent tens of thousands of dollars on advertising. And when you ask people, how'd you hear about us? It's their friend.
But enrollment numbers are not matching the number of eligible children. Why parents may not be enrolling their kids. We'll have that conversation in just a moment, but first, these news headlines. Unseasonably warm temperatures are posing risks for California's farm workers as the heat arrives earlier than usual this year. The dangers of high heat can extend well beyond the immediate risk of heat illness. Edward Flores is faculty director of the UC Merced Community and Labor Center.
More than 1 in 4 in our survey said that they were unaware of their right to file a workplace health and safety complaint. 44% said they were unaware of the right to file a complaint, with the local Department of Public Health.
California was the first state to pass heat protections for agricultural workers more than 2 decades ago. Flores says enforcement remains a challenge, especially on large farms spread across private property. He says fines of a few $1,000s may not be enough to change a company's practices. The Republican sheriff running for California governor, who seized more than 500,000 election ballots, says he has paused the investigation. Riverside Sheriff Chad Bianco says it's because of, quote, politically motivated lawsuits. Bianco previously said the probe was legal and approved by a judge. Attorney General Rob Bonta and the UCLA Voting Rights Project have launched legal challenges. They argue the sheriff has no authority over election materials. They also asked a court to stop the investigation and order Bianco to return the ballots to election officials. Bianco is expected to attend a gubernatorial debate today at Fresno State. The debate will mostly focus on rural issues in California. All candidates are expected to attend, except Congressman Eric Swalwell and Democratic billionaire Tom Steyer, who both reportedly have scheduling conflicts. A state lawmaker from Silicon Valley is pushing a bill to require housing developers to mitigate the loss of grocery retail spaces. Democratic Assemblymember Patrick Ahrens says grocery stores have closed in order to make way for housing.
Access to healthy food and affordable food should not depend on a person's zip code, yet many communities across California continue to experience limited access to full-service grocery stores, particularly in our low-income neighborhoods and the areas experience rapid housing development.
Developers oppose the bill and say it could increase their costs and create uncertainty. The bill is pending in the Assembly Housing Committee. This summer, public transportation in Kern County will add a stop to the newly opened Hard Rock Casino Tejon. According to ABC 23 in Bakersfield, Kern Transit will include a stop to the casino in July. This is part of Route 130 between downtown Bakersfield and Frazier Park. Transportation advocates say the change is a step forward for community access, but are still pushing for more availability to the area. A Valley baseball rivalry will soon have new fanfare. The Fresno Grizzlies and the Visalia Rawhide announced they will go head-to-head in a new competitive series. They're calling it the Highway 99 Rivalry Series. It'll include 24 games between stadiums in downtown Fresno's Chukchansi Park and Visalia's Valley Strong Ballpark. The first game starts this Friday in Visalia. The season winner will take home the newly created Highway 99 Rivalry Trophy.
KVPR's podcast, Central Valley Daily, is proud to be the Valley's only daily news podcast. And what better way to show your support for local news than to join us at Corks and Brews, KVPR's Beer and Wine Festival. We'll have live music, food trucks, and a silent auction, all along the gorgeous San Joaquin River. The event is Sunday, May 3rd, and tickets are $75. Get yours at kvpr.org. We can't wait to see you there.
And now to our main story. There's a new grade level offered at all public elementary schools in California this year, and it's for 4-year-olds. Universal Transitional Kindergarten fully launched last August after a multi-year rollout by Governor Gavin Newsom. It aims to ensure high-quality early childhood education for children no matter their income. KVPR's Rachel Livinal looked into this rollout for a new series called Young Brains, Huge Stakes. It was produced as part of a data fellowship with the USC Annenberg Center for Health Journalism. Rachel reports in our story today that the state's transitional kindergarten program is behind in awareness and enrollment.
Sylvia Sanchez is whipping up dinner for her 6 kids in Tulare. Her home sits between a farm and an elementary school.
I am making a meatless pasta. It's just with pasta sauce and cream cheese. And then my other kids want eggs with corn tortillas. They like it combined.
Food is on the table within an hour, but not without her older kids watching the littles. Her 13-year-old daughter warmed up formula for the baby, while the boys occupied her toddler.
I kind of have to have them help me. If not, I wouldn't be able to do things around here.
Pretty soon, Sanchez won't need that help. That's because she's putting her 3-year-old in transitional kindergarten next year, which she hopes will help her toddler become more independent.
I think that's going to give her the time to, build up to kindergarten expectations.
Transitional kindergarten, otherwise known as TK, is exactly like it sounds. It's similar to preschool and helps children get used to school. TK has been around in California for more than a decade, but this year is different because school districts statewide are now required to offer TK to all 4-year-olds. Kelly Twibell is the director of the Early Childhood Lab School at UC Davis. She says TK can advance social skills and brain development.
It's through play-based learning and environments that honor each child that they really see the confidence start to emerge, the resilience that we know is important in terms of education and long-term success.
Hannah Melnick is from the nonprofit think tank, the Learning Policy Institute. She says transitional kindergarten can also be more equitable than private preschool.
When you have mixed income and also multiracial classrooms, all children do better.
But these benefits may not be making as much of an impact as they could. A KVPR data analysis found less than half of California's 4-year-olds were enrolled last school year. One reason for this could be little knowledge about the value of TK. For instance, Sanchez was initially skeptical of TK back when her oldest child was only 4.
I originally heard about TK when my daughter was going to go into kindergarten for the first time.
She wondered, does it mean my child will take kindergarten twice?
It sounded more like if they flunked them.
She enrolled her daughter in kindergarten a little early instead, but now she wonders if she disrupted her daughter's younger years.
Would it have been different for her if I would have put her in TK? Would it have given her the extra time that maybe she needed?
Other parents I spoke to also held misconceptions. Some thought TK meant rigorous writing and reading rather than exploration and play, and they worried about childcare after only a half day of school, even though most Valley TK programs offer full days of learning.
The word of mouth might be totally wrong.
Julie Burke is with the Tulare County Office of Education. She says they're helping social workers and school districts inform parents, but the requirement is so new that enrollment and information are still unclear.
We have spent tens of thousands of dollars on advertising. And when you ask people, how'd you hear about us? It's their friend.
Back at Sanchez's home, the kids gather around the dinner table to play Uno, No Mercy edition.
Am I green?
We need yellow.
Sanchez partners up with her toddler, Natalia, who stretches over to place the cards.
Okay, look at count. 1, 2.
1, 2.
Uno is one way to learn colors and numbers, but Sanchez knows TK will be much better. For KVPR News, I'm Rachel Livinal.
And Rachel joins me now to talk about her reporting a little further. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Liz.
Okay, so we just played a feature based on enrollment of 4-year-olds in transitional kindergarten, but you looked at several different angles on TK when reporting on the story. Tell me what some of your other findings were.
Yeah, so I did do 3 other stories that focused on teacher preparation programs, special needs students, and multilingual learners. I found that there was an increase in special needs students in TK, both in the Valley and in the state of California. It should also be noted that there has been an increasing number of special needs children overall in public schools. Still, my story found a challenge for rural school districts in having enough staff to support the increasing need of special needs students. I also took a look at the rate of school districts that offer dual immersion classes, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Those classes are taught in both English and another language, so Spanish, for example. I found that the Valley offers these types of classes at a lower rate than the rest of the state, even though the Valley has a larger rate of English learners. So learners where their second language is English. Dual language immersion classes are a big support to bilingual students, so I found that to be a challenge too.
Yeah, and you also took a broad focus on health in this series, but I imagine most people don't think of health when they think about education necessarily. So tell me a bit more about how transitional kindergarten can benefit a child's health.
So experts I spoke with told me that TK helps a child's health mentally, emotionally, socially. Most brain development occurs before the age of 5, so TK is pretty crucial. Not only do students often get at least 2 meals a day from school and access to drinking water, safe drinking water, but they also get a lot of social emotional learning from interacting with other peers. TK also centers around child-led learning a lot of the time, so students are often more confident about school and their learning. Experts say that if TK is taught well, students can develop a stronger sense of self, make friends, and of course perform better academically. But experts also even said that those students who do end up going to TK often perform better academically throughout the course of their life, not just while they're in TK.
You mentioned dual language courses. Tell me what those are and why experts believe those are also important.
Dual language immersion courses are courses taught in both English and one other language. This is often Spanish in California, but there's others offered including Hmong and Tagalog. Experts I spoke to said these types of classes are really important because students are encouraged to develop their home language instead of losing it. They also said students who are encouraged to use their home language often end up surpassing their peers academically in the long run. All of this is especially crucial for TK because it is often the first time students will enter a school setting. TK students are also not given the LPAC, which is the exam that looks at their English proficiency. So this is the only way for them to inadvertently receive services for speech and language because they're not receiving it based on their English classification.
Okay, you report in another feature of yours about special needs students. Why did experts say that transitional kindergarten could be beneficial specifically for those students?
For students with special needs, experts said that, again, social interaction and a structured school environment are really helpful. One special education consultant I spoke to, Lucia Garay, said an interesting example that I think sums up the positives. She said that if a family has a child with autism, parents can go home and drill their child on social skills and interactions, but there's nothing quite like going to school and learning how to share or asking for your toy back when someone takes it from you. So interactions like this really facilitate improving social interactions for children and students with special needs.
KVPR reporter Rachel Livinal, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Liz.
That was my conversation with KVPR reporter Rachel Livinal. She's out with a new series for KVPR called Young Brains, Huge Stakes. You can read and listen to the full series on our homepage, kvpr.org. And that is today's show. Today's episode was produced by Crescencio Rodriguez Delgado, Jonathan Linden, Carrie Klein, Rachel Livinal, and KVPR, with support from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. Find the latest local news anytime at kvpr.org.
This is Tanya Mosley, co-host of Fresh Air. You'll see your favorite actors, directors, and comedians on late-night TV shows or YouTube. But what you get with Fresh Air is a deep dive. Spend some quality time with people like Billie Eilish, Questlove, Ariana Grande, Stephen Colbert, and so many more. We ask questions you won't hear asked anywhere else. Listen to the Fresh Air podcast from NPR and WHYY.